Please relax yourselves and be comfortable, and we will give you an introduction. I would like to address some information concerning the Ashtar Command and our purposes, who we are, and what we are doing here, speaking to you in this strange and outrageous manner. And I will give you the opportunity to ask me questions later on. I'm sure you have more questions. So you have been introduced to this ascension idea, this plan of ours. Let me say a plan of the Christs, under whose auspices we are working directly. I would like to speak a little bit about my role and the role of the Ashtar Command in fulfilling this. Perhaps put your minds a little bit more at ease about extraterrestrial ascended beings surrounding you. If this is a new idea to you, then I am sure there is, or has been, at least a little bit of alarm. So I come to soothe you a little bit. You can see that I have no horns upon my head, nor do I have green skin. We are human in appearance, as you are. There are humans throughout the universe. The Earth is not the only inhabited planet. And as the Lord made man in his image, it is only logical that there are images of him scattered throughout his creation. So, let me say that the Ashtar Command is an intergalactic fleet or alliance of etheric ships and human beings and angelic beings. We are here on a mission, and we have been here for many thousands of years. We have been monitoring and assisting in the evolvement of the planet and the consciousness of the human species. We have from time to time manifested physically, but largely we work spiritually. There may come a time, probably there will come a time when you will see our ships, but it is a little bit too early for that yet. We are remaining in the fifth dimension. So we are surrounding you with millions of ships and many millions of volunteers, servants, ascended beings. You cannot see us unless we lower our frequency to the third dimensional time and space. Nevertheless, we are here and we are fully functioning. In fact, at this time, our efforts have been redoubled and we have a great number of fleets surrounding the planet doing much work. Our work consists of many different areas. Largely, our work is in assisting your elevation of consciousness in this ascension period in which the planet is growing towards its ascension. We are assisting in evolvement. We are delivering our trainings to you in your sleep. We are delivering our telepathic messages to those of you who can hear and receive them. We are opening communications links each day. There are more and more of you who are opening to the aspects of channeling and telepathic communication with us. And when I say us, I am referring to the Ashtar Command and all of the ascended masters of the Great White Brotherhood. We are working in unison, you see. Each of us in our different areas of specialty. But as a coordinated effort. We are a very organized group of beings. We take time for fun and play, as you do. In fact, we have perfected it a little bit more than you have, but we have a little more freedom. And yet at the same time we are quite organized and impeccable in our manifestations. At least we try to be. Aside from the work that we are doing with these communications and messages and enhancing individual spiritual growth, we are working with the planet, and we have been for some time, to assist the planet in maintaining balance. We have up until recently been working to deter activities along the fault lines. This activity has ceased. It is time to allow this to occur, and it is occurring, earthquakes, etc. We have been working with our technology to assist in controlling somewhat the rotation of the earth, controlling somewhat the wobble which will inevitably result in a new polar shift. We have been doing much to focus the light which is being broadcast from the Creator himself throughout the universe. Specifically, we have been working with energy grids. It is difficult to describe. There is a grid of somewhat like meridian lines with various vortexes surrounding your planet, and we use this to assist in balancing and controlling the rate and the nature of the spiritual ray which is emanating to your world. This is, as I have said, to assist in balancing. For your world is existing in a state of precarious balance at this time, and we are doing everything we can, and have been for quite some time, to allow you and allow all of humanity to have the maximum time to develop spiritually, to be prepared for the changes and the ascension which is taking place on this world. With regards to ascension, I would say, as I have, the earth itself, herself is ascending. This is an unavoidable growth which must occur, and it will result in some earth changes. Most likely they will be quite dramatic. We are working with individual ascension, especially strongly at this time, because the time is so critical. We are attempting to reach as many beings as possible, especially the starseed volunteers, you who have been among us in the past and will return to be with us again, as well as assisting all those on this planet who are open to spiritual growth and awareness at this time. All those who have love in their hearts are feeling this emanation that we are assisting in, are receiving messages subconsciously from us. It gives me great pleasure to be here with you. Some of you are new to me, at least in this particular format. We have been watching and observing all of you for quite some time. I must say you are branded individuals. You are glowing a little bit more profoundly than most of your cohorts here on Earth. So it is very difficult for you to escape our attention. And because you are glowing so much, it makes it easier for us to connect with you and to find you, no matter where you may try to hide, and to share with you the love that we have, the gifts that we have awaiting you. So it is a time of great celebration on our parts, and I think soon it will be a time of great celebration on your part. It is a matter of your assimilating this information, and especially assimilating this new energy which is manifesting. And as you do so, you will find your life becomes more and more of a celebration, and there is more joy and love within you, and things begin to look quite a bit more positive. You have been surrounded by negative thoughts and emanations for many lifetimes. We are deprogramming you in our own way, not by brainwashing you, but by showering you with so much love that you must melt. Some of you have hardened your hearts a little bit in an effort to protect yourselves, and I am understanding this. It is part of your growth process, but we will melt this ice. For what we come to share is the same love that has been expressed by every master who has been here. Christ is our supreme commander. We work in conjunction with the archangels, specifically Archangel Michael. We are a broad spectrum alliance of beings. We come from near and far in the universe and from other universes. We come as volunteers and servants. And I will tell you why we come. It is because we have experienced so much love that we don't know what to do with it. So we must share. And so we come to the far corners of the universe, to areas which have yet to attain to the restructuring or reordering that the Creator has ordained. And we come in a timely manner to assist. Now we will assist in your ascension. So I will speak a little bit about your individual ascension work, as this is the main focus of this class, and our role in it. Let me say that there is a spiritual science to this ascension stuff. It is involved with love. It is involved with spiritual growth primarily. But there is also a certain high-tech aspect to it. This is where our etheric ships come into play, our Merkaba vehicles. We are here, surrounding the planet, and we are in touch with all of you, and we are awaiting your ascension, or let me say your evacuation, your physical lifting back into our ships, where your ascension process will be completed. Those of you who are aware of and feel comfortable with the extraterrestrial or space brotherhood aspect of this ascension will have an experience of entering our ships upon the time of your lifting. There are other beings here who have not this understanding, and if they were to find themselves in that situation, would perhaps feel fear or disorientation. They will be feeling the ascension in somewhat different way. But they will also be lifted into the ships and receive the ascension, though they may have the experience that they are being accompanied by angels rather than space beings. You see, there is very little difference. In some cases, there is no difference. So the first wave, this is what we are focusing upon at this time. As we said in our previous class, and as Jesus spoke to you about. The first wave is to be manifested as soon as there are sufficient volunteers. For our part, we are, for the most part, ready with our end of things. We are continuing to align the energy grids and to focus the energy to assist in the growing presence of God upon this planet and within this planet and within each of you. We are doing somewhat work to assist in the clearing of the emotional body of the earth, the emotional aura, which has contained much of negative emotions, negative projections. This manifests often as air pollution. We are working to clear this somewhat. And all of this work makes the path of the ascension that much easier, as there are that much less layers of density for you to go through. Nevertheless, we are largely waiting for more volunteers, more who are interested in this first wave of ascension, and willing to take the time and energy to prepare themselves for this. Jesus has already outlined in general the ways that you can prepare yourself, so I will not go too deeply into this. I will say that at the time of your lifting, regardless of whether it is the first wave or the second wave or subsequent liftings, your experience will be somewhat as Jesus has outlined. You will be taken to a ship. You will be lifted physically as an etheric and physical being. You will be given opportunity to make choices concerning your next manifestation. Whether you would like to continue to work with planet Earth as an ascended master, or whether you would like to return to more spiritual realms from which you came. Some of you have sources that are extremely different from your current manifestations. Some of you are highly angelic beings. Some of you are of the space brotherhood, evolved humans, ascended beings. You will be reconnected with your true presence and who you truly are. So given this information that you will receive at this time, you will make a choice as to whether you desire to continue your work in this area, which I might recommend as the most profound spiritual leap you could take to become an ascended master and to return. But nevertheless, the choice will be yours. There are many choices. You will receive training. Those of you who have specifically request to become ascended masters and to return to assist the remainder of humanity in their ascension process, for all must be lifted or leave this planet in some way in the next remaining years in order to make way for the Earth's clearing. There will be much of training offered to you. You will be able to experience a great deal of wonder, I believe, at first until you reacclimate yourself. You will be taken to the large ships, the mother ships. There we will have a great celebration. We are growing impatient to be reunited with you as you are with us. And you will find that it is highly likely that some of you will have surpassed us in your spiritual evolvement. So I would recommend that you do not look at us as gods that are above you to be worshipped, but rather as your brothers and sisters. So you will have the opportunity, if you choose to remain upon the ships. The ships are quite large. the ones where you will be housed. There are, of course, shuttlecraft. There are platforms, as I refer to them. There is one that is situated over this home, as this is one of the headquarters of the Ashtar Command in this region. We have a communications platform etherically located above this dwelling. But you will be taken to the motherships. There you will be able to experience much of a rest and relaxation, as some of you are growing quite weary with your third-dimensional limitation. It will be time for you to reacquaint yourself with your spiritual powers, with your I Am presence. You will merge and become, again, ascended beings. You will have to be retrained, perhaps, with aspects of creativity, manifestation, let me say, reacquainted with your powers and how to use them. But you will have no more need to struggle or to be on a survival level. You will have what you desire instantaneously manifested by your own desires, as all ascended beings can do. In my opinion, it is one of the unfortunate circumstances of this earth, third-dimensional life, that all who are here are so limited or enslaved by the need to earn livelihoods and to earn enough income to pay for food and lodging, etc. All this takes so much time and energy. You have a very difficult time having time and energy left for even a minimum of spiritual work and service. Some of you have this somewhat beat, but by and large, most of humanity is still struggling for survival. So you will have to get used to having a lot more freedom. I think you will enjoy this. You will have to get used to being connected consciously, constantly with the Creator. You are working towards this now. Some of you are making great strides in your growth. Nevertheless, until your final ascension, you will still have a remainder of a limited ego or density around you. So regardless of the state that you attain, which can be quite expanded and unlimited, there will still be a transformation in which takes place at that last moment. So what is it like living on a ship, on an etheric fifth-dimensional ship? It is quite pleasant. It is quite aesthetic. Some of the ships are hundreds and hundreds of miles in diameter. There are cycles such as you experience here of day and night, simulated cycles. Sunlight is processed in a way such as to allow for a day and night experience. There are natural settings. We have forests, we have streams and lakes, we have oceans full of creatures. I might add there is no poison oak, however. We have selected wisely from those species. We have avoided anything of this sort. You might say it is a very Eden-like existence. It is what the earth will become after the earth's ascension, after the earth changes have manifest and the earth has become a fifth-dimensional entity. There will be a time when those who are evacuated will be offered the opportunity to return to earth as ascended beings and to recolonize the earth. The earth will be dramatically improved at that point. And those beings who inhabit the earth will have the same ascended master capabilities as those of us on other planes do now. So there will be no need to, let me say, have a good credit rating. You will all have unlimited credit with the Creator. And you will all use your credit wisely and responsibly to create manifestations that are in alignment with God's will. It will be automatic with you at that point. So there is no fear of misusing your powers. You will be purified to the extent that you will have no more desire to abuse the privileges that you will be receiving. So after some time spent aboard the ships, you will have completed your training, and then you will be returning, those of you who decide to follow this course, as ascended masters to the earth, to exist here and to walk side by side with humans and to, let me say, create quite a ruckus with your manifestations, with your miracles, with your ability to materialize and dematerialize at will, with your ability to create out of etheric substance all that you require, or all that anyone could require. I think you have heard of the powers of Jesus Christ when he was here. This is the same area I'm referring to. As it said in the scriptures, it is our hope that you will do what he did and more. This is available to you. So we are hoping, it is the plan, and I feel it is quite a brilliant plan, that with enough returnees, with enough ascended masters manifesting throughout the globe, in every nation, and dramatically doing so, I would say, this should create quite a stir in the media and should inspire many others to find out what is going on, what is this new age that is manifesting. And there will be much of teaching, and you will be trained. You will know how to protect yourselves from any negativity, and you will know how to read human beings, read their thoughts and feelings, and you will have full use of the mind. And of course, as Jesus said last week, it is worth repeating, you will be immortal and ever youthful. So when you return, you will perhaps look a little bit younger, a little bit more radiant, but you will still look the same. You will still be the same physical being, somewhat transformed. So this is the work that we are doing in this class, to prepare you for all of this and to answer your questions which will arise. We will be working more and more experientially with you from this point onwards in the classes to assist you in preparing yourselves and purifying and healing all that work that is to be done, to open your hearts to unconditional love for yourselves so that you can fulfill the requirements necessary to partake of this adventure. So if you have been bored up until now with your earth life, and many of you have, having somewhat of a remembrance of what it feels like to be an ascended being, a creator God, your time of boredom is all but over. Now it is time to awaken and prepare yourselves. Make your decisions concerning this ascension process. You will not avoid it. You will perhaps postpone it a little bit. But I say to you, why postpone it? It is so blissful, so liberating. It is your destiny. Above and beyond all of your worldly manifestations and missions and services, your ascension is your prime directive at this time, your primary service. And by giving yourself to the ascension process, you will realign your priorities somewhat, perhaps. You will find it much simpler to know where to put your energy. Or you will be a little bit more directed if you have not been until now. You will be more inspired to meditate. You will have more of a reason to meditate. You will feel a little bit more of an immanence. You will feel more of a presence around you if you will give yourself to this process. It is your choice. I am here as a recruiter this day. I will not make you sign anything, for you will sign in your own hearts. I would say it is sufficient for you to simply ask before you meditate that you be surrounded with light and protection. Connect with your guide and ask that they surround blue light, and to use his sword to cut your psychic connections with all human creations. You will find this is quite elevating, as it detaches you almost instantaneously from your personal attachments and enigmas. I would say they are more likely to cause you distress than any other entities. This is sufficient.
When we ascend, will there be a way of notifying family members of what happened? Or do they just find out as best as they can what will happen, and after that?
This is a commonly asked question. There will be two ways that they are understanding. Not everyone will be understanding, mind you. First of all, there will be those who are close enough to you to know that you are following an ascension path and that you will perhaps someday disappear from the scene. Those who are very close to you and who are spiritually oriented, who will not consider you crazy, you may communicate this with. I would not communicate it with others who are not open, as you will receive somewhat of a more negative response. So those who are open to this and have been communicated with, you can tell them that if I am to disappear at a certain time, do not be alarmed, it will mean that I have ascended. Then there are ways to communicate with those other family members who were not so open, and we have ways to communicate with them via messengers, via messages, etc. And we can accommodate them if this is your wish. Of course, we cannot spend our time dramatically reaching out and touching everyone that you have met in your lives and telling them, manifesting before them and telling them that you have ascended. This is quite a job, but I think that if there is someone that is very close to you, say a direct family member, then perhaps they can be comforted so that they will know that you have not perished or disappeared or been hijacked in some way. Let us say it has been a voluntary hijacking. So we have ways of connecting with people in some way that they are open to receiving. Perhaps we could manifest a letter in their mailbox. Perhaps we could have them visited by an angelic presence. Whatever they are open to. And also their hearts will be telling them. And they will receive messages in their sleep so that their subconscious will be prepared for the information that is presented to them. I would say for you it is important that you be prepared to simply leave the scene and detach yourself from your relationships and attachments. This is the correct attitude for you to have. It is not beneficial for you to be overly concerned about those you leave behind as you are leaving so that you may serve them better. Perhaps it will be possible for you to even return in person and greet them by materializing in their drawing room. If you think they have a strong heart, you may perhaps do this. So there are various ways of connecting. It is not something to be overly concerned about. We have addressed the issue of your children previously, and they are, of course, of top priority with us, as they are with you.
With regard to members of our family who are not awakened yet or even close to a spiritual path, what can we do to help them ignite just a little bit without being too obnoxious about it or seeming too far out?
Unconditional love. You need not speak to someone with this information if they are not ready to hear it. Nevertheless, all hearts are open to receiving love. There is a way to love everyone. There is a way to touch everyone's heart, a particular way that they are open to receiving. It may not be anything related to what you would consider a spiritual practice. It could be a foot massage. But whatever you do in a loving way to another enhances their spiritual growth. And of course, the number one service that you can do for them is to yourself experience the ascension, and thereby shocking them into a wakeful state. So that your number one priority in service is to follow the ascension path. If this is your choice, you will do more as ascended masters than you have done as third-dimensional beings, much more. You will be able to transmit much more love in a way that people can truly feel and be transformed by. This is your role at this time. And it is quite an honor that you have before you. In fact, even to hear about this information at this time is an honor, as I am honored to bring you this communication. So, above all, be aware that these times are, let me say, non-standard, not business as usual. These times are magnificent in their opportunities and possibilities. And you have an opportunity that has been granted very few beings. And the results of your accepting this challenge will be quite marvelous. You will receive a promotion in your evolvement, let me say. There is a spiritual hierarchy, and the closer you get to the ultimate God, to the presence of the one Creator, the more your, it is difficult to find words in language sometimes. The more opportunities and the more your experience will be, the more fringe benefits you will receive. The broader your choices of service, and you will have the opportunity to go beyond the realm from which you originally came, let us say. So if you were a seventh dimension angel, perhaps you will be able to attain to a higher dimension and be that much closer to the source. This is our ultimate longing, all of the beings that are in manifested creation, regardless of whether they are angelic presences or clouds of spiritual consciousness or physical forms or ascended physical forms. We all have the longing to be closer to the throne.
I have a question on star seeds in terms of family members. Do they run through family members, or is a star seed one here and one there within the family? For example, I have 4 children. At least 3 of them sure don't act like star seeds. One of them does. And even thinking about my own mother, could she have been a starseed? Anyway, that's what I've been thinking about.
I would say that all possibilities are possible. There is a general likelihood that those in your immediate family are starseeds also. Though there is a possibility that some may not be. It is impossible for you to totally be able to tell, even by their behavior. For as I said, of the 144,000 beings who are here, the majority have fallen into a deep state of material existence. So the fact that they are not acting like starseeds does not mean they are not. It just means they are a little bit deeper undercover. So I would not be concerned about this. They will find their right places.
What happens to those who are not starseeds, don't want to wake up and don't wake up?
Many will experience what you refer to as death upon this world, who do not make the choice to be evacuated as of the last lifting. They will be transported to a place that is fitting their level of evolvement. Those who make the choice to evacuate, as I am referring here to the final evacuation, wherein all human beings will have the opportunity to leave. This is just before the cataclysmic events. This is as we project it will occur. Those who have enough love in their hearts to be lifted, to give themselves to the lifting process, but are not yet ready to ascend, will be kept and served in third-dimensional craft, and will be able to be transported to planets where they will feel most comfortable and can continue to work out their karmas. Those who are not open to the lifting process, to be evacuated, will most likely experience the death process, and their souls will be evacuated without their bodies. Those who are here in the guise of human beings, but who are truly dark lords and those other types of emanations, will be dealt with summarily. Some will be returned to the central sun for restructuring. There are many beings here upon this world who do not belong on this world, who have created chaos from the moment they set foot upon this planet, and who have enslaved other beings, the more innocent mass of humanity, with their various powers and power plays and desires for dominion. Fallen angels, etc. All are existing, and all will be dealt with, and there is a great deal of reordering that is taking place throughout the universe at this time. The reordering mechanism has reached the earth, and now the earth will be reordered in alignment with the will of the Father. So no being will be punished, but all beings will be taken to where they can be more in company with those that they are aligned with, so that those who are ascended beings will be only with ascended beings, and those who are third-dimensional humans, but still have an innocence and an openness to growth, will be with their own kind and will not be subjected to these powers and the dark presences. The powers and dark presences will be given opportunities to change their ways, but those who do not will most likely have to be disintegrated and restructured. It is possible for a soul to die.
I've learned two questions that may or may not be related. It seems incredible to me that of the 144,000, as you said, we're trying to wake up 2,000 of us. I felt that there were remembrances encoded cellularly or biologically that might trigger an understanding of human will, and maybe what hasn't triggered. But okay, which goes into my next question regarding the dream state, where I know most of us have been working in temples and in your etheric ships during our dream state, where if we have, as the 144 would have, given permission or certain agreements before coming in here, even in that state, I would think there would be a lot, we'd be getting it, or more would be getting it, and then no matter whether they wake that up in their apparent awake time here, which is also a dream state. But I'm just amazed at, with the amount of dream time and the etheric plane and the inner dimensions of the dream states that we're in that bad shape. I guess it's just my sadness. And yet I don't know, I also have weaknesses in my own character that maybe make me a difficult student also. But I'm very much involved in the dream worlds and the Shandar grid and all these incredible ancient things that are coming back. And I'm remembering, so I have a feeling that many others like me are, and maybe that's my illusion.
That was a question?
Well, my question being that because of what information we gave tonight about the small percentage and that what Jesus told us last week about that the all-star seeds, or the ones that have been ascended before, must have agreed, and therefore you can work with us more in our dream state. Understanding that's a very productive time for you and our friends to work with us, even if we may be denser as we wake up and walk around. How is that program coming, I guess, as far as the dream state? How is that interrelated with our work?
There we have got a question out of that.
I know, I'm sorry, but evolved.
First of all, I would like to say that you should not consider yourself a poor student. You are an excellent student. It is time for you to acknowledge yourselves, and even if you feel you may have your shortcomings, never say, I am a poor student. It is better to fake it as an affirmation than to continue to perpetuate negative impressions.
Even amongst someone like you, though it's difficult. Okay.
And let me say, concerning the dream work we are doing, it is progressing, and there are many beings who are, especially borderline cases, New Age people who have not yet awakened to this consciously. And they are, let me say, not so much that they are unawakened, but they have not gotten the information concerning ascension yet. So you see, there are very many who are on the verge of taking this challenge, but they need to have the information brought to them on a conscious basis. In fact, the very words ascension and evacuation, this type of thing, is somewhat of an encoded message for them. So you see, there is a great deal of work that can be done, that we are attempting to do with as many channels who will give themselves, and as many others who will network this information, to broadcast these channelings and these messages. For there will be a great effect in doing so. So it is true that we also are quite disappointed with the outcome of this experiment. But it has been millions of years since most of the starseeds took this challenge, and it is a long time to be subjected to materialism and third-dimensional emotional limitations, etc. So there is much of wounding that has taken place, at least externally in the emotional bodies, and it has been very difficult to maintain awakeness. So we are doing the best we can to work with all those beings and to present this information to them in teaching format and training in their etheric bodies at night. But it is for the conscious communication to be directed towards them, for them to awaken and to give themselves to this. It is not enough that they have heard it in their sleep. They need to hear it consciously, and they need to make a conscious mental and emotional choice concerning it. They need to bring their free will to bear and to recognize and understand the options available to them, and to be willing to undergo the transformation that is necessary. So you can do a great deal simply by speaking to others who are open and sharing information, sharing tapes, sharing channeled messages. It would be my hope that you will be inspired to do this.
I have a question about the keys of Enoch. How does this fit in?
That is quite a volume. I would say it is very accurate in its presentation. It is channeled from a very clear source, let me say, as you are aware. And those of you who desire may look into this, and I think you will find that everything that we have been addressing in this class is addressed in that New Age scripture. They refer to the Space Brotherhood as the higher evolution. And so I think that your studies of the Keys of Enoch are very beneficial. Keep in mind that that within every type of channeled messages or scriptures, there is always a certain slight degree of disinformation, perhaps. This is a very clear scripture, I will call it, for it is indeed a scripture. Yet there is a necessity for you to always, in any channeling or in any message or reading matter, to use your own discretion and to take the words and the teachings to heart to see if they are true for you and relatable to you. But I would encourage you in your study of this, and anyone else in this room who would desire to know more on a scientific level, have some more validation concerning this that we are communicating. It is very helpful to hear this from another source, to see it written down that there is such a thing as evacuation and ascension and space brotherhoods present, and you can read about our work at a more scientific level than can be brought through this rather non-scientific channel. So it is an excellent work. I recommend it. Some of you may not be able to, as they say, get into it. If you can not do so, then do not be alarmed. It is not for you.
When I was first introduced to the book, I was drawn to read it and completely read the whole thing in 2.5 weeks after work at night, and I couldn't put it down, and I felt like I understood all of it. And then I went back and tried to read it again, and I didn't understand it. But I haven't been able to stop studying it since then, for over a year now.
There are levels of understanding. You see, your subconscious self is understanding more and being awakened more than your understanding mentally. So it is good to read it even if you do not understand everything logically or intellectually. It is encoded with messages and activations for you. It has assisted in your growth by activating your spiritual awareness and growth self.
I was wondering why more spiritual groups, teachers of meditation, are talking about the ascension, the evacuation.
Very controversial question. This is almost one that I am hesitant to respond to, for it may come as a criticism. Let me tell you, it is not. But I must say that there are many spiritual masters who are masters of certain areas of growth, certain areas of spiritual growth, but have not entirely mastered their own ascension process, or are not open to this particular information or receiving it. So it is more, I would say this information will be more felt and more appreciated by those who are more humble and childlike in their aspect. Those who have a great investment in a particular spiritual path and in trying to understand things with regards to one particular training may perhaps find it difficult to integrate this information. There are comfort zones even in spiritual paths, you see. It is difficult for some to leave their comfort of their teachings that they have grown accustomed to accept the possibility of this other information. This information has not been made that public as of yet, or it has just begun to be made public in the last year or two, and so the spiritual work that people have been doing have been preparing them for their ascension, no doubt. And yet it will be another step for them to awaken to this. I think that the first wave will be made up largely of volunteers who are very open, very humble, very innocent in their demeanor. Of course, this describes most of you. And those who have a large investment in a particular spiritual path, a sense of security therein, will have to be shaken out of it a little bit more by the return of ascended masters in physical form. So they are star seeds, no doubt, but they are in their own comfort zones. Or either that or they have not simply been presented with this information as of yet, consciously.
Is this the second coming?
Not quite yet. These are the preliminaries, let us say.
But when the masters or when people have ascended, and there are many beings on the planet that are working in an ascended state, is that the second coming? Is it a multiplicity of Christs? Christy beings?
I, for one, do not feel competent to predict what the Christ will do next. He is quite spontaneous. It has been written that he will return from the sky in the last days, and I would not put it past him to do so. But needless to say, the second coming, as referring to the second coming of the Christ, in effect it is the second coming, for you will be merged with your Christ bodies, and there will be, in effect, thousands of Christs walking the face of the earth. But the coming of that particular being that you refer to as the Christ will be most likely manifested only in the last days. Or maybe not. It is up to him, you see. I can speak somewhat for those in my command as to what they will do, but for those who I am serving, I would not begin to be so bold.
Ashtar, is Maitreya in London, is he the Christ in it, or is it Jesus? Or are they one and the same? Is he working in this ascension process too?
He is not the Christ. The Christ is in an ascended state at this time. He is another avatar type of being doing his work. There are many avatars present upon the earth at this time. Many spiritual masters, and they are all playing their roles, consciously or subconsciously, in this awakening of humanity. So this being will also attempt to do his part in his own way. As to whether or not he is a Christed entity, you must judge that for yourself. I will not pass judgment in this way. It is part of your growth, each of you, to discern truth from fiction. And it is a disservice on my part if I were to categorize and give you my impressions of every teaching or every truth that has been spoken or given. It is part of your process, you see, to separate the wheat from the chaff. I would say that within every teaching there are truths, and there are also perhaps elements that are less focused on the truth. If you take it to your heart and it serves you in your process of growth, do so. If not, let it go by. There is no need to give yourself to any one incarnated spiritual master at this time. This is something which is being phased out. Those masters who have had followings, who are, let me say, more humble and more aware. There are some who have already forsaken their devotees and given them to their own paths, who have released the attachment, let me say, to having a great deal of followers. Others have still this desire to have followers, which is a desire on their parts. But it is being phased out, for it is a time when each individual being will become a Christ. There will only be Christs remaining upon the earth in a short time. So then there will be no more need to have teachers and devotees. That has served a purpose, but now I would give you the challenge to become masters yourselves. And you can do so directly, working with the ascended masters. If you desire to receive teaching from an incarnate master, you may do so, but you will not receive anything more profound than you can in your own living rooms, through your own guidance, through channeling the masters yourself, verbally or non-verbally. This is the challenge that is before you and before the planet.
Is Sananda's ship still sending healing to the earth between 8 and 9 p.m. every evening? And are you the commander of Sananda's ship?
Yes and yes. Sananda is our name for Jesus Christ.
Yes.
For those of you who are not familiar with that moniker. In fact, the healing is a little bit intensified at that time, but it is ongoing continuously. So at any time you may tune into his presence and be receiving it. No need to wait until 8 o'clock.
Is this healing for all of the bodies, the spiritual, the emotional, and the oversoul, and is every body of the multidimensional soul being healed?
Yes. The whole package. We will be doing some work. Christ himself will be with you again at another class, and he will be working specifically with healing the emotional body, as this is an important aspect of the work that you are doing.